the ones we're most concerned with are the ones that will accumulate points on a driver license, on a TLC record, and affect driving insurance as well. Those are the ones that stand out the most, because other violations, not to say they don't count and they're not costly, but you take a parking ticket or something along those lines, or an easy pass violation, those aren't going to put points on your license. Those aren't going to affect your ability to work. So for the most part, there are things you could pay, but there are things you really need to be careful before you pay, because there could be ramifications, big ones, outside of the fine itself. So the stuff we're looking at: speeding tickets, cell phone tickets, fail to yield to pedestrian tickets, not signaling, disobeying signs throughout the city, or HOV lanes outside the city. The typical ones where you're pulled over by a police officer is the classic moving violation that is going to cause the drivers, in my opinion, the most problems if they don't properly handle them and attend to them in court. So depending on where you get a ticket, that's one of the unfortunate things about the way it works in New York. You could be in a great position if you happen to get pulled over in one county, and a mile down the road, you could be in a way worse position just because it's a different system, a different court, different prosecutors. So the system's divided. We look at it this way: as there's pretty much New York City and everywhere else. New York City is handled by the Traffic Violation Bureau, the TVB. That's part of the DMV. So it's an administrative hearing, which is a little different than if you were to receive a ticket in Westchester or Nassau or Rockland or anywhere outside of New York City, where you're dealing with a real court, and the DA's office might get involved and help us negotiate things. In the city, at the TVB, there's no negotiation. Everything has to go to a small little hearing that's either win or lose. And that's a completely different procedure from outside the city. So it really makes a big difference where you get pulled over. But most of the drivers we see are getting tickets in and around New York City, the 5 boroughs, and that's where most of the for-hire vehicle activity is happening. And that's the most difficult agency to deal with, but it's also the one that lawyers like us would have the most experience dealing with due to the volume of the tickets issued there.